Hello, this is Sal. In today's video, we will be configuring internet access on ASA Firewall. We have this network here of 172.16.10.0 with these PCs. We want them to access the server here or outside through the internet and to be protected behind the firewall ASA here. The ASA stands for Adaptive Security Appliance. In brief, Cisco ASA is a security device that combines firewall, antivirus, intrusion prevention, and virtual private network VPN capabilities. It provides threat defense that stops attacks before they spread through the network. The Cisco ASA 5500-05 is a full-featured firewall for small business, a branch and enterprise teleworker environment. It delivers high-performance firewall, SSL, and IPsec VPN, and rich networking services in a modular, immediately operational appliance. On the ASA, we will configure VLAN 1 inside, VLAN 2 outside, NAT for the devices on the 172.16.10.0 devices or hosts, DHCP and access list, and a static route to outside ASA, and configure OSPF dynamic route on the routers, and will make sure that PCs will be able to ping and connect to the server, and any device will not be able to connect to the inside VLAN 1. Here on the ASA, no password is configured on the device, so enable. When it prompts for the password, just hit enter, and it will until later if you want to configure the password. Now let me run the command show run. Here we can see that DHCP address, we have the pool of addresses from 192.168.1.5 to 1.36 for the inside here, configured by default on the ASA device. And also for VLAN 1 is configured with this IP address. So we want to delete these two. First, we will copy this line here. Let's do the same. And by the way, you will find the steps for this video on the description of this video, the walkthrough step by step how to do it, and also you can download the packet tracer for this topology and do it on your own just to learn how to configure this network. Just keep it simple. Here from the global configuration, we type just the word no and then paste and hit enter. Now if I run the command show run, we don't have the pool of addresses here, but we still have this IP address for VLAN 1. So also from the configuration, the global configuration configure terminal, no enter VLAN 1, and now no IP address. And as you can see here, it's telling us that the binding is cleared on interface inside and the spool is removed. Now to run the command again, show run, to see about VLAN 1, and we can see here no IP addresses configured for VLAN 1. Now I will configure VLAN 1 inside and VLAN 2 outside with the IP addresses. Now configure terminal, enter VLAN 1 IP address for VLAN 1 of 172.16.10.1/24 subnet mask, and the name of the interface, name F inside, security level of 100 for VLAN 1, exit from here. Now for the interface, E01 here, E0/1, switch port access, this is for VLAN 1. Now let's work on VLAN 2. Enter VLAN 2, IP address of 10.1.1.1 with /24 subnet mask, and name the interface outside. Security level for VLAN 2, the outside is 0, and exit. Now for the interface of E0/0, switch port access VLAN 2. So what we did so far is we configured the VLANs for VLAN 1 inside, VLAN 2 outside on the ASA. Now let's configure the routers, the ISP router here and router number 1 for the internet. So on router 1, enable and configure the interfaces, configure terminal. Now the interface facing the ASA of gig 00, IP address of 10.1.1.2 /24 subnet mask, and no shot. And the other interface facing router 1, interface serial 000, IP address of 15.1.1.1 with /30 subnet mask, 255.255.255.252. No shot. Now let's go to router 1. Enable, configure terminal, the interface facing ISP router, serial 000, IP address of 15.1.1.2 with /30 subnet mask, 252, and no shot. Now the other interface of gig 00, IP address of 8.8.8.1 with /24 subnet mask. No shot. So now we configure the ASA VLANs for VLAN inside, for VLAN 1, for VLAN 2, and on the routers we configure the interfaces on ISP router and on router 1. Now on the ASA I will configure a DHCP server on the ASA from the global configuration, DHCP address, and the range of the addresses of 172.16.10.5 to 172.16.10.10, and we want to configure the DHCP on the ASA for the inside. So we have, I still have an issue with the question, my keyboard for the inside. Now for the DNS, DHCP DNS of 8.8.8.8 for interface inside. So now we configured the VLANs and the DHCP on the ASA device. So let's go check what we did so far on a PCA. Here, let's go to desktop and then the IP configuration and click on DHCP under IP configuration here. And it shows us that it gave us this IP address to PCA of 172.16.10.5, and the same with PCB. Click on DHCP and 10.6, and PCC. Click on desktop tab and the IP configuration and DHCP, and it gives us this IP address for PCC. Now, on the ASA, we will configure the route to route the traffic from the inside to the outside. So usually on the router, we will configure, when we configure either static route or default route, we will type IP route. But with the ASA, we type, the command goes like this: route. We want to route outside and anywhere with this subnet mask, and the next hop for the ASA device will be this interface of the gigabit Ethernet 00 or with 10.1.1.2. 10.1.1.2. We configured the route for the ASA device. Now, I will see from PCA if we can ping it, if we can ping its default gateway, ping 172.16.10.1 from PCA to its default gateway, and we receive a reply here. Now we configured the route for outside on the ASA. Now I'll configure OSPF on the routers. Exit from here, from the global configuration. On the ISP router router OSPF process ID 1 for the network facing the ASA of 10.1.1.0 with the inverse subnet mask of 0.0.0.255 in area 0. The other network of 15.1.1.0 with the inverse subnet mask of 0.0.0.3 because it is /30 area 0. Now let's do the same on router 1, router OSPF process ID 1, network facing the ISP router of 15.1.1.0 with the inverse subnet mask of this area 0. Now the other network, now as you can see, it established a neighbor adjacency with this network here. And now we want to configure the other network of 8.8.8.0 slash with the inverse subnet mask of 0.0.0.255 in area 0. Now we configured the route on ASA for outside. We configured OSPF on these two routers, ISP router and the router number 1 or number 1. Now I'll configure NAT network address translation on the ASA for the devices for the inside for VLAN 1. Subnet to translate the IP address for the inside host to be able to communicate to the outside network. So from the global configuration, object, network, and I'll name it anything. You can name it whatever you want. I'll name it inside. Inside. Enter. Now the subnet of 172.16.10.0 with the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, and we want to NAT to translate from inside, outside, and dynamically on the interface. So now we configured DHCP on ASA and NAT. Now I'll create an access list for the devices here, what we want to allow this network to access. So exit from here, configure terminal, access, list, I'll call it internet, extended, and what do we want with this access list? We want to permit what? We want to permit TCP and from any host to go anywhere. Another access list, the same, we'll call it internet, extended. We also want to permit ICMP from any host in the subnet to go anywhere. Now, we want to access group. We call it internet for in, interface outside. So let's see if we can ping from PCA to the server. Ping 8.8.8.8. And we received a reply that we can ping from PCA. Let's see if we can ping from PCB to go through the firewall, because this subnet, this network here, is protected by the firewall, that they can send pings, but nobody is allowed. They have the security level of 100, and anybody to access this interface through the VLAN 2 have a security level of 0. So let's ping from PCB, ping 8.8.8.8, and we receive the reply. Now let's see if we can ping from PC1 to this interface of 10.1.1.1. Ping 10.1.1.1. It can reach up to here, but let's see if they can ping inside. Their limit is to reach to this interface, but can they access to 172.16.10.1? Is telling us here that the destination is unreachable. Let's see if PCC can reach the server or this PC here. Let's see if they can ping the server, 10.8.8.8.8. Yes, it can. But can PC1 reach PCA? What's the IP address of PCA of 172.16.10.5? Let's see. Ping 172.16.10.5, and its own interface here is telling it like the destination is unreachable. So now let's run this command here. We run a few pings from the subnet to the outside. Show X late. Show X late. Inside name. This command, is really very helpful. Just run it and study it. And another command is show NAT, and it's showing us that inside to outside source dynamic inside interface, the hits are 12, the pings and untranslated were 10, and this is when you run the command show NAT, and you can. This is just keep it simple. This is simply how to configure a firewall to allow a network or devices behind a firewall to reach outside of the firewall based on the security level of 100, and for the inside, and also when you configure for the VLAN 2 here, as you noticed, or we did with the security level of 0. If you download the documents on the description of this video, you'll find the packet tracer for this topology. Also, the walkthrough step-by-step what to do, and to reach the conclusion for this, that you can ping from the inside VLAN to the outside, but anybody outside, any host outside cannot go through the internet to ping the PCs in VLAN 1. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you like this video, share it, and give me a thumb up, and I will see you soon in my next video. Have a nice day.